Alright, so you guys are thinking about buying a handheld release. And I know when I switched to a handheld, I wish I would have known the differences and what was good for what, and so on. So that's kind of why I'm making this. Maybe give you guys a little bit better insight before you go and spend hundreds of dollars on trying different kinds of handhelds, because I've gone through the thumb buttons, hinges, back tension, hybrids even. But so you're thinking about buying maybe a thumb button like this one. It's the Stand Onyx clicker. Maybe a hinge like this one. UltraView 1 hinge. Or maybe even a hybrid like the True Ball Go tier. This is my newest one, and it's pretty cool, honestly. If you're willing to take the time to figure out how this thing actually works and how to move things around, pretty decent release. This one, being a hybrid, is, all things considered, roughly the same price as these. But with that being said as well, I know I started out, like the first handheld I bought, $30 thumb button off of Amazon. Worked great for kind of just getting the feel for it. Was not at all adjustable. I mean, I couldn't even set like the tension on the trigger mechanism. Then I switched to a, what was it? Fulcrum Flex when I started working at Shields as a bow tech. We had one in our shooting range and I was messing around with it. Really started to like it, so I bought one. Then when UltraView came out, I decided I was going to give this one a try. At that point, I already switched back to a thumb button, and it was a Carter Wise choice. I did start to develop target panic, which was why I switched to a hinge, which did actually cure most of my target panic. I know some people are like, oh, you can't hunt with a hinge, anything like that. You can, and I have hunted with this. I went to South Dakota for mule deer after this, which maybe you can see here, but like these two screws are still full of dirt from that, because it was raining one day and I stuck this right down into the mud. So that was great. Did end up shooting a mule deer out in South Dakota with this. Then I came back 2 weeks later to Minnesota and ended up shooting a whitetail out of a tree stand with this. But recently, I've been using the Onyx click, which I like a lot. I really like the click in the thumb action before the shot. Lets me know, like, okay, here I go, kind of as Joel Turner always says. I like the weight of it. It feels good in the hand. But the one thing I run into is if I want to switch back and forth between target, which I really like a hinge for any kind of like indoor, outdoor target, anything like that. If I switch back and forth between these two, if I hold them the same direction, you can see here, the hooks go opposite directions. Doesn't seem like that much of an issue, except for it moves my impact. And when you're trying to shoot something the size of a dime at 20 yards consistently, that makes a big deal. But this one's also super nice for just hunting, because you can clip it onto your loop, leave it. Kind of the biggest perk to that one. Plus it's super adjustable as far as travel, thumb pressure that it takes to remove it. And that, switching from hunting to target, is what led me into buying the Goat. So this one's super cool. It's got an aggressive enough hook, you can hang it on your bow and it can hang there. However, there's not a string retainer right here, so it can fall off. So you're kind of in the same boat you are with just a standard hinge. But by taking this screw out here and this pin, and then you can take it and slide it right into this spot right here, and it just holds it. Then tightening this all the way down, it locks your sear into place. And then if you go right here, you lock your trigger, so then it essentially turns into a thumb peg like this. It turns that into a hinge. So you have the exact same release, same feel, same everything from a thumb button to a hinge, which is super cool. And then super adjustable too, as far as right here, you can adjust your moon to when that breaks. But this is also very adjustable as a thumb button, because you can adjust your tension here and then your travel down here. I really like the way this fits in my hand, and I've been shooting it, and I can tell you what, from the way this fits in my hand to the way this fits in my hand, I can wear gloves with this, I can do anything with this. This one, which this is a large, if I put a glove on, I can hardly get my index finger in this front spot. And I don't think I have that big of hands, but I can hardly get my index finger in there. Same with this one. If I put a glove on, it's hard to get my index finger in. This is a medium hinge. I wish I would have went with a large. But for shooting it indoors or using it for target, works great. These two also have the same side of a release. So they release similar, they impact similar. But from what I've noticed from taking and switching this back and forth from a hinge to a thumb button, I am more consistent going back and forth, and it takes me less time to dial my stuff back in from hunting season to shooting target. But with that being said, does this mean this is the right choice for everybody? Not even close. So if I was you, I'd be looking more so of, well, what exactly are you trying to do? Are you looking for one just for maybe 3D but primarily hunting? Are you looking for target? Are you looking for best of both worlds? What is it? And if that's the case, I'll break it down of if what I was doing and why I'd buy a release. If I'm solely target practicing with maybe a little bit of hunting, I would be using a hinge. And honestly, I think everybody should have a hinge in case they run into target panic. You can punch this, but it's way harder to punch. So this, target, by far. Now if you're just hunting, shooting 3Ds for fun, but your main thing is hunting, I would 100% go with this thumb button. Clips onto the string nice. You don't have to worry about anything getting in here that's dirty as far as if it's going to actually work properly, if you're going to hear you click before it goes off. This one, 100% used for hunting. But if you do both and you're really into both and you want them to impact the same, I would 100% look at a hybrid just like this goat. This one is probably my current favorite and will probably be my favorite moving forward. And this is definitely what I'm going to be spending the rest of the year hunting with and shooting my competitions with. So hopefully that helps you out, gives you a little bit better idea. But this one, by far, as if you're switching back and forth between thumb and a hinge and you want your impacts to be the same from both and not have to re-sight in every time, 100% go with this. Thanks for watching. Drop a comment down below what you guys are shooting, what you think works best, and if I am absolutely full of it, let me know below. Please subscribe. Thank you.